So I'm pleased now to introduce the person who will present our mayor. Please welcome Adler Brogdon, senior at St. Patrick's High School and serves as a student advisory board member on the chamber. Adler.
I am pleased to introduce the man of the hour, the leader of our great city, who is filled with passion and devotion to Biloxi, its residents, and visitors. He strives each and every day to make our city safe, friendly, and beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, here to deliver the state of the city is the Honorable Mayor, Andrew Fofo Gillich. Please welcome him to the stage.
Hello, Biloxi. Listen, somebody said, well, I almost started crying when I walked on the stage. But it's great to be here. And I'm more excited today than ever before. I'm pumped, I'm telling you. I got a lot of words to say here, and small font, so I might use these glasses every once in a while. But welcome to the state of your city. Thank you all for being here today. Thanks to the Executive Director, Tina Ross Simmons, and everyone at the Biloxi Bay Chamber for putting this great event together. And thanks to the Beau Rivage and their entire staff, always, for making it top-notch. Again, please give them another round of applause. Today, we're here celebrating this occasion, and Biloxi is at the top of its game. But our neighbors to the north in Mississippi and Alabama have suffered a number of deadly weather events just a few days ago, and we know what that's like. So let's pause a moment and keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Okay, this marks the 10th time to deliver this address from me. I'm pumped up today, as I said, as when I first became your mayor. But just the other day, one of my friends from across the bay came up to me and said, "Cap," I said, "What's that, rascal?" He said, "I got some questions about that state of the city. I thought Biloxi was in Mississippi." I said, "Yeah, you're right." Okay, not everybody. Something went over somebody's head. But this marks the 10th time, as I said. But today, there are a lot of folks that I want to recognize, and I need to express my appreciation to for their support regarding what has been accomplished in our great city over the past years. But first, I think we should recognize the event itself, the annual Biloxi State of the City. In 2021, B News reported on its origin. It's worth repeating some of that article. Mayor A.J. Holloway presented the first one in 1997, and now is pushing an incredible 3 decades. I'm going to quote from that article. "It was the brainchild of the late Tommy Monroe, the longtime Biloxi booster, civic leader, respected businessman, and a beloved one, benevolent one. Monroe marshaled support from among like-minded citizens, Dickie Schmidt, Franklin Kyle, Larry Carbon, Dr. Frank Gurich, to name a few, to shine a favorable light on the city and to present an annual State of the City report." I see Wayne and Donna back there, but in the article it says Biloxi Attorney Wayne Hengen was a charter member and former president of what is today the Biloxi Bay Chamber of Commerce. I believe he's attended every state of the city since then. Is that right, Wayne? Yeah. All right. Today, Biloxi teems with a sense of accomplishment and excitement, energy, and anticipation, not hope, expectation. Next, most importantly, none of this could have happened without the support of the Biloxi City Council. Let me say, I appreciate you for always keeping Biloxi and its citizens at heart, and for being thoughtful and reasonable in your decision-making. So let me say again, our Biloxi City Council, Ward 1, Councilman George Lawrence, the godfather for 24 years. Ward 2, Councilman Felix Orlando Gines. Ward 3, Councilwoman Dixie Newman. Ward 4, Rodney McGilvery. Ward 4, Councilman David Shoemaker. Please give them another round of applause. You know, in the 10 years, I don't remember any real arguments. It's always fun. Well, mostly fun, right? Next, if Biloxi was a wheel, the spokes of that wheel would be the department directors at the center of what makes Biloxi roll. My buddy is from the first grade and many times since then, over the years, Chief Administrative Officer Mike Leonard. There's been some talk of retirement, but we're going to talk about that too. But Chief of Police, John Miller. Fire Chief, Nick Geiser. Parks and Recreation Department, Sherry Bell. Community Development, Jerry Creel. Engineering, Christy Lovatar. As well as our Program Manager, Walt Rohde. He's here. Legal Department, Peter Abide. He's in charge of not only the legal department, but municipal and community court systems. Ports and Harbor, Christina Johnson. And I've looked out over here, and I'm going to try and see some names and faces and repeat them. But next, a number of organizations have made significant contributions to our city's success and made Biloxi what it is today. Each have their own unique mission, and they're led by their own boards, directors, staff, and volunteers. Believe me, those jobs are not easy. Please acknowledge the Biloxi Public Schools, the Biloxi Housing Authority, Civil Service Commission. In community development, we have the Biloxi Planning Commission, Architectural and Historical Review Commission, the Tree Committee, the Building Board of Adjustments and Appeals, Municipal Elections Committee, including appointees to the Harrison County Utility Authority, today the Biloxi Gulfport Regional Airport Authority. Did y'all get that? Okay. But Billy's here, so we're in sync. But the Coast Transit Authority, Gulf Regional Planning Commission, Harrison County Development Commission, Harrison County Motor Vehicle for Hire. We enjoyed great partnerships with the Harrison County Board of Supervisors. And I think we have Dan Cuevas and Nathan Barrett here with us. I don't know if they've been introduced, but we do appreciate that. We have Sheriff Matt Haley from the Mississippi, his Sheriff's Department, and District Attorney's Office, the South Mississippi Planning and Development District. So, we have great working relationships with all of them, but we have great working relationships with all our sister cities for years now. Yes, even Gulfport. No one could figure that out, but me and Billy did. All right, brother? Listen, I call him my brother mayor, but just in a few months, I'm going to have to call him Brother Mayor Emeritus. So appreciate what we've done together, Billy. Thank you for being here today. We have a great representation from the Iberville, too. Bobby Weaver, the manager, and I think we have Gerald Burdine and Harry Pilou from the council. We have, I think, B.J. Sellers from Gulfport here, too. We also have Southern District Public Service Commissioner Wayne Carr back there somewhere. And Wayne, great to have you here. And stand up if I didn't repeat your name. I think I tried to, remember everything. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody being here because it really means so much to say we got it covered here in this audience. But I did mention our congressional delegation too. We have tremendous relationships with all our representatives and senators, and that means especially in this day and time, since everything is calm and cool. But we will be asking them and encouraging our little story when we can. So I appreciate everything. The relationships, it's all about relationships. So we thank you for all of those things and organizations that I mentioned. But as I said, the best of all is what we have and enjoy with the United States Air Force and our beloved Keesler Air Force Base. Now, over 8 decades, growing stronger than ever. For certain, Biloxi is what it is today because of Keesler. And Keesler is what it is today because of Biloxi. We share the same DNA. It put both of us on the map. Wherever you go, if you mention Biloxi, Keesler will be brought up, and vice versa. You say Keesler, and Biloxi will follow. As always, today, our Keesler cousins are here in force, and it's great to have everybody here. Now, I'm going to mention a couple of key players and stories about each one. I see my mayor of Keesler, Billy Pope, Colonel Billy Pope Jr., 81st Wing Commander. A little story of, we only have him up for a handful of months, but we've appreciated everything we've done over the 3 years, I think it will be. But one story I have to say about he and his wife and his son, on Mardi Gras Day, my wife said Billy had the best outfit in the grandstand, right, Serena? And, I was going to talk about with General Davis and that Biloxi thing. Well, he's infected with that Biloxi thing. He went and bought that outfit, so, as he goes away, he'll use it again here in Biloxi. So we hope you're back. But anyway, I was going to say to General Davidson, General Wolf Davis is not here with us, but let me tell you, he's been here for a year, and I know he feels that Biloxi thing, right? And as I was going to tell him, and I tell him all the time, look, it's something that you feel, and I think he has felt. His daughter is a senior at Biloxi High, and Vanessa is his wife, but I think they feel it already. And I told him, I said, look, you can't wash it off, and there's no vaccine for it. The 43rd Reserve Wing Commander, Colonel Benson, is another great story about the 43rd and the training that's done with all the C-130s that are happening. I was at the Mississippi State Nichols ball game the other night, and it was probably in the 4th inning, in the 6th inning, in the 7th inning, that every time when you fly around the Boulder Divide trying to make a landing, and you see, wingtip to wingtip, and everybody stood up and was clapping. They thought we arranged that little flyover. But I did deny it, so yeah, we did a good job with that. And of course, Colonel Peter Koulis is 81st Medical Group Commander. And I think he's in a retirement mode, but I'll talk about if I haven't done my job, if you don't choose to retire here. Again, we've had some conspiring, me and him, with regard to the medical center over the years, and I think I've done my job because I think he plans to retire here. So congratulations to everybody as part of Keesler. But one thing too, that DNA, that thing works both ways. I think back on what we did with, every one of these are now generals, Michelle Edmondson, Deb Lovett, and Heather Blackwell. We did some amazing things from 81st through the 2nd Air Force, so we're proud of that. But, Biloxi has some stars too. All right, General Clark Griffith, I think we designated him as most distinguished Biloxian last year. Our generals, they've served their country all over the world, and Biloxi too. I mentioned Clark, just a little bit about Clark. He's 2nd Air Force Commander, Keesler Commander, City Councilman, and our appointee to the Biloxi Airport Authority. And again, I mentioned about most, but we also have General Mike Peterson. He's a former Keesler Commander, and these are lieutenant generals. Those 2 stars, right? Big deal. But Mike is here with us. I don't know whether Susan's here or not, but she is the his commanding officer. But Keesler is the Biloxi High graduate, which is awesome. And currently our appointee to the Biloxi Airport Authority. Susan is, as I said, his commander and the chairperson of our tree committee. So I would give all of them a round of applause. Okay, Gretchen, I hadn't cried yet, so look, it's not all roses. We have challenges. There are challenges that come from many directions that need to be met every day. Take it from me. To have the quality of life we enjoy today, you don't, and you just can't wish for these things to happen. It comes from vision, leadership, and hard work. The rubber meets the road every day through the dedicated men and women in each and every one of our departments. We'll show you that in a great video that Public Affairs has prepared. Now, enjoy the video, and I'll see you in a few minutes. One thing we learn in life is that progress takes time. Over the years, the city of Biloxi has made incredible progress on so many fronts in tourism, development, infrastructure, and the quality of life of our citizens. Everything we accomplish begins with a great idea and a vision of how we can make Biloxi even better. But turning that vision into reality for Biloxi takes detailed planning, hard work, and the dedication of your city's leadership, employees, and the partners that make it happen. Today is all about that progress. Our city, with its French colonial roots, is home to dreamers, artists, visionaries, and builders often working together to make their vision a reality. Now, with a history of more than 325 years, this city, our Biloxi, is filled with an amazing reality. Since Pierre Lemoyne d'Iberville landed on these shores in 1699, Biloxi's progress has been and continues to be remarkable. The land and the waterfront have provided opportunities for many, developing and growing this great city. Biloxi, a tourist destination, something that began in the mid-1800s, more than flourishes today. In the early 1900s, Biloxi was known as the seafood capital of the world. Restaurants, piers, and boat launches are built today because our seafood industry remains an economic cornerstone. We welcome more than 4 million visitors a year to the coast. Last year, the Biloxi Visitor Center saw visitors from not only across the coast and the nation, but from all around the world. They came from Austria, England, France, Germany, Holland, Vietnam, Sweden, and the Philippines, just to name a few. Visitors return again and again to Biloxi, not only for our hospitality, great seafood and beaches, but because they experience a city where visions continue to turn into reality. 4,285 building permits were issued last year, an increase of 517 from the previous year. That means our water and sewer departments add new customers each week, all due to our vision becoming reality. And anyone who knows me knows I have big visions for Biloxi. The words, "It's finally happening," resonated among the crowd just a few months ago as the dirt was thrown south of Pass Road to mark the beginning of the Pops Ferry extension. Like the new Keesler Main Gate on Division Street, this project has been talked about for decades and now has a green light. Neil Schaefer provided the design engineering and is providing other construction services, and Nikkei's Brothers is conducting the work. The $21 million project began on November 25th, and it includes 1.53 miles of new 4-lane road that will connect Pops Ferry across Pass Road, across the railroad tracks, and extend to US 90, allowing motorists a direct line to travel. Under construction now is the foundation for an underpass to run under the new road that will connect the Coliseum parking garage to the west side parking lot. The extension is expected to be completed at the end of 2026. Upon completion of the roadway, Pops Ferry Road will connect to US 90, a major highway, which is a huge step toward getting it designated as a state road and opening the door for future state and federal funding. Without that designation, future funding for building a new Pops Ferry Bridge will almost be impossible. As for the 45-year-old drawbridge, a $15 million rehab project has been funded. Mississippi Department of Transportation has approved Neil Schaefer as the design engineering for the replacement of the draw span and locks. If you travel across the bridge, or maybe even just receive the city's bee alerts, you know how often the draw malfunctions, continuously causing headaches for motorists. Through a $12 million grant from the Mississippi Department of Transportation, with a $3 million match from the city, the project will include a mechanical system upgrade and maintenance overhaul of the draw, prolonging the life of the bridge and alleviating most of the drawbridge malfunctions. Currently, the project is in design phase, but the vision will take some time to become reality, and we're working hard to make it a reality. Another outstanding reality sparked by the Pops Ferry extension is the opening of the new Rouse's Market at the corner of Pass Road and Pops Ferry. At 60,000 square feet, it is the largest of the company's 5 markets in Mississippi. By all accounts, it's exceeding expectations. Rouse's gravity will no doubt be attracting other businesses to invest near that corner and along Pass Road. We're also working hard to achieve another reality. That's the reopening of the Sanger Theater, now in a number of weeks, not months. About 6 years ago, it was unsafe and near collapse. It will return as a cultural anchor of the historic downtown district. Biloxi Sanger will be one of 18 left of the nearly 100 that were built in the 1900s. Exterior and interior renovations happened under the watchful eye of the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. You can imagine every detail examined, the process lengthy. We have gone through a massive research on the building, such as the superstructure and load-bearing elements, then moved to an enormous exterior renovation project of the fly tower, the HVAC, ceiling, repointing the bricks, and updating the front exterior. Next, we move inside. Repaired areas on the walls that received damage from the water seepage, completed some painting, made some electrical and hardware upgrades, inventoried and cleaned chairs, and evaluated the stage components. Now, painting and restoring the decorative plaster surrounding the stage is taking place. Hardwood floors throughout the theater are being restored, followed by replacing the carpet. Work that remains: repairing the chair lighting, more interior painting, fixture repairs, Wi-Fi installation. Significant state-of-the-art upgrades to the lighting, audio, video, and stage components are forthcoming. Upgrades that will allow the Sanger to gracefully accommodate not only our local performers, but also Broadway-like productions never before on the radar. A climate control space is being completed for the 1970s Steinway concert grand piano, which has also been restored, tuned, and ready to play. Ground Zero Biloxi has anchored the entertainment revival on Howard Avenue. Next door, the Barks Building will anchor the residential revival, with 13 second-floor condominiums that will hit the market in April. The first floor will be completed with a number of retail shops, restaurants, and bars. Down the street, Keystone Federal Credit Union received the naming rights for the stadium last year. In September, the new name was unveiled during a ribbon-cutting ceremony, and it is now known as Keystone Federal Park. Inside the park, the Biloxi Shuckers saw the completion of the Schooner Splash Zone and Boardwalk, and the expansion of the Shucker Shop. Attendance at the ballpark increased in 2024. And in addition to the Biloxi Shuckers running the bases, the stadium was host to a number of high school and college games. And this year marks the 10th anniversary of having professional baseball in Biloxi. The massive renovation at the A.J. Holloway Sports Complex crossed the finish line. The 68-acre site south of Pops Ferry and Cedar Lake Roads has been a vortex of activity since September 2023, when contractors J.E. Talley Construction began tackling the fields. The expansive overhaul included the installation of both synthetic turf and Bermuda side, new subsurface drainage, new topsoil, field striping, new black vinyl fencing, painting, and paving. 120 new parking spaces were also added, all part of the $5.167 million project. March 8th, youth baseball and softball opening ceremonies were held at the complex. Reality now is that the city sports leagues and others who rent the facility will now be playing at a top-notch facility. Over in Wool Market, residents will soon have a new pathway to walk along. Contractors with Landmark Contracting are installing 1.25 miles of sidewalk on Wool Market Road from Lorraine to Jim Bird Road and Lorraine Road from Wool Market to Nature's Trail. The nearly $1 million MDOT funded project began in late October and is expected to be completed by the end of May. Katrina infrastructure projects continue to move forward. $314 million in construction has been completed. In fact, Nikkei's Brothers Construction is in the final phases of the project on the point in the area known as St. Michael's. We should see that work wrap up in the next month. As for the infrastructure along the Beach Boulevard in West Biloxi, known as BEA 1, 2, and 3, that work is expected to be completed by the end of the year. We still have 2 more projects to send out for bid. Those projects are Rodenberg Project and Buena Vista East Project. We hope to have those projects, the final 2 projects in the Katrina infrastructure, ready to bid in 2026. All of these visions are made reality through the partnerships as well as the hard-working staff of the city of Biloxi. We currently have more than 600 employees who provide the day-to-day services that you expect and deserve. Our Biloxi Fire and Police Department, as always, continue to provide exceptional service. We need to keep our fire and police rated at the top. This administration, along with the City Council, in the fiscal year 2024 budget, recognized the importance of the dedication to public service and provided significant compensation increases to the departments. Our firefighters train thousands of hours to enhance fire safety, provide public education, and support the growth of our city. With Pafford Emergency Medical Services now stationed within the Biloxi Fire Department, the ability to work side by side with the firefighters has helped significantly reduce response times on emergency medical calls. The 3 new custom-built fire trucks are now in full operation, with state-of-the-art upgrades, including a ladder truck that can be operated remotely up to 300 feet away. This ensures the safety of firefighters while providing the best service to the community. This new equipment, combined with continual training, allows Biloxi to hold the highest fire response rating, which keeps insurance rates lower for our citizens. Keeping Biloxians and visitors to our city safe requires a well-trained, well-equipped police department at the ready 24/7. Everyone recognizes that it's a challenge to be a police officer in this day and time, and the police department is recognized as one of the best in the state. In 2024, our police department saw its share of retirements and resignations, followed by new hiring that provided a small net gain in officers dedicated to protecting the community it serves. The new Division Street training facility continually provides training to keep officers current with the latest law enforcement procedures and options. New special event ordinances help public safety personnel protect the health, safety, and welfare of Biloxi residents and visitors. These ordinances give organizers guidelines to follow when planning one of the numerous special events held in our city. Last year, the Biloxi Police Department participated in the planning and coordinating as well as serving as